Hello around the world, which is definitely a good morning and a good evening. Welcome wherever you're joining us. I am so excited for tonight. We have a special edition Wellness Wednesday with the most popular chief science officer that I know, Dr. Dan Gubler. You are absolutely in for an amazing night here learning from him, and I cannot wait to start. So many of you may know some or a little bit about Dr. Dan Gubler. I'll share a little bit. He's our chief science officer. He has a passion for this topic that we're talking about tonight, science meets wellness. He is Caltech trained. He has a PhD in organic chemistry. So with that being his passion, he has an Instagram channel and a TikTok channel of really he has fun with those channels where he has over 100,000 followers on each of those, where he's educating and empowering. So check those out. And you're going to get that tonight from him. Some fun talks, educational, empowering. Take notes. I always like to take notes when I'm learning. I took notes just a little bit ago talking with him. I always learn, and it is about wellness. Science meets wellness. For those of you that don't know who I am Holly DeMott. I am your host tonight with Dr. Dan Gubler as our special guest. I am joining you from Scottsdale, Arizona. This is my home state. And Dr. Dan Gubler is joining us from his home state of Utah. So Dr. Dan Gubler, welcome. We are absolutely elated that you're spending your night with us tonight, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes, we are. Hi, Holly. It's so great to see you. Good evening. Good morning, everyone. So great to be with you wherever you are on this beautiful planet. And Holly, I'm just excited to talk about this concept of science meets wellness.
I am too. Let's get started. And we have people joining from all over the world, Dr. Dan, all over the world. So let's get going.
That just gets me excited. And we're going to learn a lot of fun stuff. It's going to be good. So when we were talking about this concept of science meets wellness, some of the thoughts that I had is that wellness is a journey. It's a process, and it doesn't just happen. You have to put energy into it. I'm a chemistry geek, so I relate everything to chemistry. But if you want a reaction to happen, two molecules to come together, you have to put energy into it. And so, one thing I think is really cool is there's still a lot left to be discovered. And so when I was putting together this first slide, I have this road, and this road is actually a picture from our last research expedition in the Olympic Peninsula here in the United States. But I love this because this suggests that it's a process, it's a journey, and we're traveling, and we want to get around that bend because there might be something exciting around that bend that can help to improve wellness.
Absolutely. And that was a really neat episode, the whole video of what you just did a couple weeks ago. And I know we have that for people to watch and what is around the bend. So science meets wellness. I love that this addresses physical wellness, because we talk about physical wellness, financial wellness, spiritual wellness, and it's so empowering what we're going to be going through.
It is, yeah. And we're going to talk about a concept tonight that will really help to take our wellness to the next level. And that concept is called phytonutrition. So there's molecules from plants and molecules in our food that have been shown to promote health and wellness. And no one's really talking about that. We're starting to talk about that here at 3 when it comes to our formulations. Obviously, there's a whole other area. And I talk about this, as you mentioned, on my social media. There's a whole other area where there's natural compounds from plants that can promote human health and foods. And so the idea is, if we know what foods to eat to support different health conditions, then we can take our health to the next level.
Right. And when we're talking about foods, Dr. Dan, and especially going in talking about our products are whole food based.
Yes.
Yes. I want to remind everybody of that, so you know that.
Yeah, exactly. All the ingredients in our formulations are natural. They're from nature. They're from plants and foods, and obviously sources that have been shown to be very safe for human consumption. There's nothing experimental that we use. And it's a beautiful thing to grab things from nature. It's just amazing the molecules that are found in nature and how they were placed there, or they ended up there. However they got there to support human health is just really fun and fascinating. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about a few different health need states. As I was thinking about wellness, thinking about the world in which we live, and just everything that's going on in the world and all the different pressures that are pressing down on the body and causing stress that can cause the body to not perform as it should. I picked a few of these that I think are important to most of us, and we'll talk about those, and then we'll talk about what things that we can do to support those health states. So, Holly, the first thing that we're going to talk about is weight management and supporting a healthy weight. What are some of your thoughts there? You've been in this industry for a long time, health and wellness. What are your thoughts there?
Yes, this is always a hot topic. And with so many different fads going on, I believe this is something people should absolutely look at and love themselves with their weight management. And know it's not always about weight loss. It's about feeling really good in your body, feeling really good in your body. And I mean, that's what I've learned. That's what I've seen with people. And I know with our products, these products really help us to feel really good in our body, which we're going to talk about more, but to move more, to want to do more, being more. Yes.
Yeah, and it's interesting. A lot of people will say, well, what's the ideal weight for me? Yeah, what should I be at? How many pounds? How many kilograms? And the answer is all your body will tell you. As you strive to be healthy, to eat the right things, to exercise, to take science-based supplements, and as you're taking care of your body will tell you where you need to be, so there's no ideal weight, there's no one size fits all, like you said. We need to feel good in our body, and our bodies are powerful. I just love that our bodies come in all shapes and sizes. There's no ideal body shape. You can have people that are some of us are a little skinnier, some of us are a little, not as much, and that's okay. It's great. When it comes to weight, this concept of phytonutrition, here are some things. So based on the scientific literature, here are some things that we can eat that contain these phytonutrients. So when we talk about phytonutrition, it's phytonutrients. These are these molecules that are naturally occurring in foods that have been shown in the scientific literature to support health. And so that top left one, some of you might not know what that is, but that's actually sorghum. Sorghum is a grain. It's grown all throughout the world. And there are molecules in sorghum that upregulate a gene. Here at 3, we're all crazy about genes, right? Epigenetics. We released our epigenetic study showing that compounds, molecules in our formulations can help to regulate these chemical switches in the body that are like the master conductor that's conducting the orchestra, this beautiful symphony. Well, lifestyle factors can cause these conductors to be locked in the closet. And so we've shown through a clinical study that our products can maintain healthy gene expression, healthy epigenetics. And sorghum, this food, can do that as well. And it specifically helps to regulate a gene called GLP-1. And GLP-1 is a really interesting gene that's been talked about a lot in the scientific literature for its ability to support healthy weight. And I think a lot of us have heard about GLP-1, right, Holly?
It has been the rage, hearing about GLP-1. So those of you who have not heard of it, you're probably going to hear it more now because it's actually really popular right now with more in the pharmaceutical world.
Yeah, and so sorghum contains molecules, and then in the middle there, that's actually fenugreek. So fenugreek is a wonderful food. It's used in Indian cooking and curries and dishes all the time. It's been used in India to support health for thousands of years. And there's scientific literature as well in both sorghum and fenugreek that they contain molecules that upregulate GLP-1. And blackberries on the top right, the same. So these are 3 foods that could support healthy GLP-1 levels in the body. And then when we look at the scientific literature as well, apples apples contain a really cool phytonutrient called floridzin. We draw the chemical structure if we had more time. We get up on the board, draw the structure and talk about it. But, apples with floridzin pairs with the molecule called arbutin, and then beans. Beans contain fiber like inulin and other natural fibers that help to support the appetite, and that can actually help to promote and reduce appetite in some cases.
So I love all of this. Would you elaborate just about the GLP-1 of just what that gene, what it does?
Yeah, so GLP-1 does two major things. The first thing that it does is it helps to regulate healthy insulin levels in the body. And what's really important is the body will not burn a single molecule of fat if insulin is out of balance. And it's interesting when it comes to health, it's really easy to tell if our blood sugar levels are out of balance, right? It's easy to just to take a blood glucose test and you can see right away. But to know if our insulin is out of balance or not, it's not that easy. You can't just do a prick or anything like that, or look at your smart device to see what's going on there. And so a lot of times what happens is insulin can be high. And even when we're eating well, when we are exercising, when we're trying to do our best, insulin can still be high for a lot of different reasons. But when you take these foods that regulate GLP-1 helps to ensure that insulin levels are maintained in the healthy, normal range.
Okay, I'm going to eat more of all those.
Yeah. And, one thing that's really cool here at 3, we talked about epigenetics and the studies that we've done. So related to these foods, and this is a good time to make this point, that when it comes to health and wellness, the 3 key pillars are proper nutrition, exercise, and science-based supplementation. So even though we're eating right, with all the lifestyle factors that are going on, there's still a little bit of gap between where we are and where we need to be. I would say that most of the time, most of us are here. Now, these principles that we're talking about, phytonutrition, that'll get us here. And then when we add on science-based supplementation, well, now we have reached the top of our health and wellness journey. We're on that road, that first slide, that beautiful winding road that'll take us on the path to success and happiness. Now we're on that road. And so it's really interesting when it comes to supplementation. We've done clinical studies, in this epigenetic study, we found that both Vitalite and Revive, they help to upregulate GLP-1 levels. So just like the foods on the left can do that, these supplements on the right, we've shown clinically can do that as well. Isn't that cool?
That's really cool. And what you just showed is great, because I do hear from some people, hey, I can get everything through my food. And I'm like, I love the thought of that. However, up your game to go even higher.
Yeah, I mean, we should try to eat as healthy as we can, and we should try to get all the nutrition that we can from our foods. But lifestyle factors, soil depletion, the modern processed diet, there's just things that are out of our control, that cause this gap to occur in all of us, no matter where we live.
Right. And Dr. Dan, it's so true, because people will tell me all the time, like, I cannot be a perfect eater. And I'm like, I understand that. And I'm like, that's why I absolutely love our supplementation.
Yes, exactly. And so supplementation, science-based supplementation with cellular absorption technologies, with curated formulations, and with new phytonutrients that are from around the world that we've explored here at 3. That really is what sets our supplements apart. Okay, so the second is, I was thinking, when it comes to wellness and in the world that we live in today, the second need state that I wanted to talk about is hormone balance.
Yes. We hear a lot about hormone balance, and whether it's lifestyle factors, which I know you're going to get into some of those, just things that we may not realize are endocrine disruptors. However, I also hear about perimenopausal, menopausal, the postmenopausal, and and you'll get into this, I'm sure, but how does the foods and everything play into part with that.
Yeah, one beautiful thing when you look at the body, the millions of reactions that go on in the body, there are molecules from foods that can help to regulate every single part of human metabolism. And when we say metabolism, we're not just meaning fat burning or digestion, we're meaning all of the reactions that go on in the body. That's the scientific term of metabolism. And so the more we learn, and again, there's new research studies and papers coming out all the time. We're doing research here at 3 on this as well, that I'm just amazed how natural molecules from plants and foods, regulate every process, including hormones. And as you mentioned, endocrine disruptors are a big deal nowadays with all of the material science that's happening. And, we've made these amazing materials that we use, that line our pots and our pans, our cookware, these materials that line French fry containers and burger cardboard containers so that the grease doesn't soak through and burn us. These are amazing, but some of these materials we're finding out are actually endocrine disruptors. I was reading a paper the other day showing that there was a silly putty that was produced in another country outside of the US, but what they found is that it actually contained endocrine disruptors, and it was disrupting the hormone system of teenage girls who were using it. There's also papers showing that really cheap cosmetics, there's some ingredients that should never be included in any cosmetic formulation, but they are in some, and they've actually shown that those can be endocrine disruptors as well. So it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And so talking about hormone balance, what foods would help with that, help support that?
Yeah, so when you look at the scientific literature, two of my favorite, I love figs and I love dates. Both of these, figs contain a molecule called abscisic acid, and it has really good science behind its ability to regulate hormone levels. So there's lots of really interesting papers showing that it can support health during times of PMS, perimenopause, and menopause. It can help to regulate estrogen and progesterone levels. Same thing with dates. Dates contain a phytonutrient called phytoprostane. It's actually a class of molecules called phytoprostanes, which actually can take the place of hormones. So if we don't have enough estrogen or progesterone in the pathway when that reaction needs to happen, these molecules can actually stand in as a substitute and take its place for a brief second so that reaction can continue to occur, so that balance can happen. And so there's a lot of really interesting data on those too. And then raisins. Raisins has some really interesting flavonols, polyphenols. Polyphenols are a broad class of molecules, but there's some really interesting molecules in raisins that are good for hormone health and specifically for the thyroid. So if you want to maintain health of the thyroid, eating a small handful of raisins, like a quarter cup of raisins every single day, is a really, really good thing. Now, a lot of people might say, well, that's too much sugar, right? That's bad. Sugar. All of these contain sugar. Well, the beautiful thing about nature and these foods is that whenever there's sugar, whenever there's fructose or sucrose, there's also fiber. And they complex with each other. And so what happens is when I eat something with sugar and fiber, the fiber holds on to the sugar, pushes it through the digestive tract until we get to the intestines where that sugar can actually feed the bacteria. And so when you have fiber present with sugar, it doesn't spike blood glucose levels.
And then I see dark chocolate on there.
Yes,
So
dark.
I love that.
Yes, me too. And it has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, but if you really are hardcore, right? Some of the things we're talking about, if you want to be hardcore with your nutrition, 100% dark chocolate is where it's at. Because if you go less than 100%, now you have a little bit of added sugar, which isn't quite as good. But 100% dark chocolate, what that means is that you have all of the flavonols, all of the natural molecules that have been shown to support healthy hormone levels in that chocolate. If I eat a milk chocolate, it might be more delicious. It might be better for my palate, if I'm more that type of person, but the molecules that can maintain health are not present in that milk chocolate in as much abundance. So again, if you want to be hardcore, I go for 100% dark chocolate. I eat several squares every single day and it's my jam. I love it.
I love this. And so going into the product piece of it, because
Yes.
I'm all about the power punch. Like I want everything that is going to help support me. So which products would really help to support this topic?
Yeah, so when it comes to hormone health, Eternal,
Mhm.
Vitalite, and Purify, these three products, if you took everything on this screen that we're showing, this would be a really, really nice proactive health regimen to support wellness. And like we've talked about, that's the first time we've said that word tonight, proactive, but we are the world leaders in proactive wellness here at 3. That's what we do. We focus on proactive health. So Eternal with resveratrol and the other polyphenols that are in there, very good scientific data on its ability to support hormone levels through different periods of life. When we're younger, when we're mid-age, and even in old age. There's some really good science when it comes to perimenopause, menopause, like we talked about before, and a lot of really good things there. Vitalite, one thing that happens for hormone health, these hormones, these reaction cascades, they need vitamins and minerals. They're what are called cofactors. Hormones need minerals and vitamins attached to them. And if we're vitamin and mineral deficient, then that piece of the puzzle is gone. And so it can't work properly. So we need both. So Vitalite, as we talked about, well, as we say, we haven't talked about it tonight, but as we say, it provides everything the body needs for proper function. Micronutrients, probiotics, prebiotics, enzymes, phytonutrients, chlorophyll, everything the body needs for proper function. So that brings all these essential cofactors together with the hormones for proper function. And then we talked about endocrine disruptors that are just universal in the world we live in. It's unfortunate, but endocrine disruptors are everywhere. And so taking Purify every single day can make sure that if endocrine disruptors do get into the system, that the ingredients in Purify will bind to those endocrine disruptors and help to shuttle them out of the body to support health and wellness and hormone health in this case.
So the two topics we've talked about, I mean, many of the same products, the weight management and now hormones, which weight management and hormones are related. They're
Yes.
absolutely related. And so it's just overlaying what we're talking about.
Right. A lot of people, when it comes to weight management and the weight loss journey, a lot of it is hormones and hormonal imbalances and those sorts of things. So what a great comment, Holly. It does. It goes together. And as we'll see, when we talk about all these other wellness need states, there are common themes and threads that go throughout. So let's talk about sleep now. I recently bought a bed. My wife and we bought a bed, and it was time. Our bed was pretty old, and I don't sleep super well anyways, and so I wanted to get a more comfortable bed. And we go to the sleep store, to the mattress store, and the first thing the salesperson says, we went to several of them, and it's so funny. The first thing they say, "Do you know that you spend 1/3 of your life in bed?" So it's very, very important that we do whatever it takes to have a good sleep, and I say that jokingly, but it is true. Sleep is so, so vital for all aspects of human health. I was reading a research study the other day about why we sleep, and we still don't understand all of the reasons why we sleep. You think about evolution, right? When cave people are running away from saber-toothed tigers that want to eat them and whatnot, why would they just pass out for 8 hours and lay there where they could be eaten, right? But this study actually showed that sleep is a way that, like your computer, how you have to defrag your computer, right? And clean things out. Sleep does that for the brain. It actually, when we move throughout the day, we're producing a lot of fragments, a lot of trash, so to speak. And so when we sleep, it actually allows the body to go in and take that trash and move it away from the brain and flush it out of the body.
I don't know about everybody else on here, but I want the best quality sleep. So Dr. Dan, the quality of sleep is so important.
Yes.
And when you feel well rested, then you want to do more, move more, think more, like all of it. So I love that we're talking about sleep as a topic, because I feel like many people, like you just said, the statistics from the sleep store, It's true. Many people do have this challenge with sleep and being well rested.
Yeah, and there are studies showing that 1 in every 5 people in a 12-month period will go through a period in that year that they don't sleep very well for a little bit, and sleep changes everything. It changes how we see the world. It changes how we interact with people. It obviously changes our performance and limits our ability to perform. And so it's a big deal. We want to make sure we get a really good sleep. And as we talked about earlier, it's really interesting. There are molecules in food that have been shown in the scientific literature to help with sleep. And a few of them are here. The top left, that's an oyster. So oysters contain large amounts of magnesium and large amounts of zinc. And both of these are vital to support a healthy sleep. And then on the top right, kiwi and cherry actually contain large amounts of melatonin. And we know melatonin, right? Melatonin is a hormone, and it's the sleep hormone. It's the hormone that helps the body sleep. So as it gets dark, what happens is the body produces more and more melatonin, and that melatonin then produces other neurotransmitters, which overpowers the cognitive processes in the body and should usher us off to a nice, gentle, relaxing, beautiful sleep. And so it's really cool that kiwi and cherries contain melatonin. Isn't that cool?
That is really cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, and in tomatoes, there's another molecule in tomatoes that actually has sleep maintaining properties as well. And then also in lettuce. So there's a huge TikTok thing, right, on lettuce with people soaking lettuce in water and showing that it helps them sleep better and whatnot. And that's actually true. The science is there. There's a molecule in lettuce called leucin that can actually help to support the sleep pathway and maintain a healthy sleep. And so when you eat a huge salad with tomatoes on there, this is actually helping you to have a better sleep. Isn't that cool, right? We would have never thought of, or at least I would have never thought of eating a salad to help with my sleep, but it really is true. Science is there.
It's really cool to know this. And I know myself, I don't have a salad every night. So what can I take for supplements? What can I take for products?
Yeah. So let's start with Revive. We haven't talked about Revive to this point yet. So we'll start with Revive. Powerful product. I love Revive. Do you love Revive, Holly?
I absolutely, we call it magic beans. So yes.
There we go. I love it. So Revive helps to support a healthy inflammatory status in the body. And one of the things, when you look at the scientific literature, one of the things that disrupt our sleep and our ability to go to sleep is when that inflammatory process is not in balance. And so what Revive does when we take it, it helps to bring the inflammatory cycle back into balance to maintain healthy inflammatory process. And that then can remove any barriers that might be there to inhibit the body to be able to sleep. So Revive, a beautiful one there. Vitalite, we talked about magnesium and zinc in oysters. Vitalite, magnesium, zinc, all the other vitamins and minerals the body needs for proper sleep in highly bioavailable forms. That's a big deal, right? We have our yeast glycoprotein matrix, our GPM technology, where we have a vitamin and mineral attached to a delivery technology. So these vitamins and minerals easily make their way through the cell membrane into the cell, where they can then participate in vital processes like helping us go to sleep. And then Eternel with the polyphenols. There's hundreds of different polyphenols in Eternel, and there's a class of them, flavonols, that have been shown in the literature to help us to sleep. So when we take these three products along with these tips when it comes to phytonutrition, again on this screen, this is a really nice science-based recipe to help us to have a healthy sleep.
So I'm already hearing it from people asking, would they take these products before bed or taking them during the day? Does that lead in to support them with having a healthy night of sleep?
That's a fantastic question. And the answer is you can take them during the day. You don't have to like make sure I eat oysters and lettuce at the same time at night because the half-life of these molecules is, 24 to 36 hours. So basically what that means is when I eat a salad for lunch, a healthy salad, those sleep maintaining molecules are still going to be in my system and doing their job when I go to bed at 11 p.m. They're still going to be there. And so the most important thing is just getting them throughout the day. Even eating, kiwi and cherry that have melatonin. That it doesn't mean we have to take them right before bed because melatonin is working in the body around the clock. It's a hormone that is even during the day, melatonin is there and it's making sure the runway is there and everything's aligned so that when 9, 10, 11 midnight comes, the body's ready to go to sleep.
Wow, this is great.
Isn't science cool? So fun.
And you break it down so great for us. Thank you.
Well, it's interesting. I was thinking the other day just how important education is. The body is the most important asset that we've been given in this life, in my opinion. It allows us anything that you want to do, spend time with family, earn a living, make money, whatever. You need a healthy, strong body with a sharp mind to do so. And, the body doesn't come with a owner's manual, obviously, unfortunately, right? It's such an important asset. And then we go to school and we take all these classes on math and history and these different and English language. We go through 12, 16 years of school and we take 12, 16 years of these different classes. And yet we take no years of a class that teaches us the things that we're talking about tonight, how to really optimize and take care of our bodies. So health education is just so important. And, that's one of the things that we're passionate about here at 3. Not only do we provide science-based supplements and solutions to help you reach the top of your mountain of health, we also give science-based education that dovetailed nicely in this beautiful holistic system.
It's amazing.
All right, skin health. Holly, I know you quite
Yeah.
well, and I know that you love skin health and you have beautiful skin. What are your thoughts on supporting health of the skin?
I do love skin health and I love beauty inside out. And since using the 3 products, that's something I've experienced is such an improvement with my skin health. I didn't really know that I even didn't have great skin health. And it just keeps getting better and better and better and better. And I'm getting older, my birthdays aren't going backwards. And so this is a topic that I get really passionate about. Because if my skin looks this good, then what are these products doing on the inside? Because this is an inside job. And yes, I love our products for this topic.
Yeah, what you said is so profound that if my skin is looking this good on the outside, what's happening on the inside? And that's absolutely true. The skin is kind of this lagging indicator, right? When our skin is looking good, that means that beautiful chemistry, science is happening on the inside. Skin's the largest organ of the body, and it's an external organ. It's prone to being damaged. And the skin is much more than just looking beautiful, although that's super important and that's vital. But the skin also houses the skin microbiome, the good bacteria that do all sorts of crazy things when it comes to human health. And the skin is actually a surface where we talk about pheromones, but even more general than that, there's molecules coming off of the skin that help us to communicate with each other in a normal, natural manner, rather than just, the pheromone sense that people talk about and they sell online. So the skin's really, really important. And the skin's prone to being damaged. UV radiation, it's taking a beating every single day. And so when it comes to phytonutrition, one of the best foods to eat for skin health is almonds, actually. There's several clinical studies showing that there's specific phytonutrients in almonds that when you eat almonds, they actually localize to the surface of the skin. And when UV radiation is shining on the skin, instead of hitting the skin, these molecules will actually, figuratively stand up and take the blow, take the beating, absorb the UV radiation so it doesn't hit the skin cells.
Wow. And I know we have one of our products that helps with that also.
Yes,
It's
yes,
really
we
neat about
do.
almond.
Yeah. So pomegranate's another one, and it's really interesting. We talk about pomegranate and eating pomegranates because we'll just pull it up right here when it comes to supplementation. We have pomegranate in collagen, right, which is our premier top of the line beauty from within product that you take for 10 days, 10 consecutive days, and then you wait 20 days and then you take it again, 10 on, 20 off, because this product helps to regulate the genes, the chemical switches in the body that produce collagen, the factories. It turns the factories back on. So it's interesting. We have pomegranate in here, and it's no wonder if you take pomegranate, if you eat a pomegranate, it's doing a similar sort of thing. Although I would add not as much. You would actually have to eat a lot of pomegranates to get the amount that you get in our supplements. So that's something that's really interesting because the molecule is ellagic acid, and we have lots of ellagic acid. We've selectively pulled ellagic acid out of pomegranate and put it in collagen, whereas ellagic acid is present in much, much smaller amounts in an actual pomegranate.
Really good point. Really good point. You'd have to eat many, many pomegranates compared to taking one sachet.
Exactly. And then cucumbers, asparagus, lotus root for our friends in Asia. I love lotus root. Good stuff. So crunchy, but it contains really cool bioflavonoids that have been shown to protect the skin and also help to support collagen production in the skin as well.
Mm.
And then in addition to collagen, we have our Eternel product, which is an amazing product that can help to support healthy aging. It can help to bind to free radicals that can, try to throw the body out of balance. And it has glutathione, a wonderful antioxidant. It has CoQ10, has resveratrol, 200 milligrams of resveratrol. So it's a bioactive molecule powerhouse that really helps to support the body and help to protect the body from some of the factors that can press down on it. And then purify. If we want the skin to be healthy, we need to be sure that we're removing toxins from the skin. So a lot of toxins that are floating around in the air can actually embed themselves on the skin and can cause the skin to not divide, to not function as it should. And so these three products from 3 International are a really good skin health suite.
The Purify with that product, with helping to detox our 5 major organs, and the skin being one of those.
That's
I
right.
think that's something people just don't think about with the skin needing detoxed. The Eternal, which I love calling this my glutathione glow. And I attribute so much of that product alone to skin health.
Yeah.
This is like the most powerful trio that I know for skin health. This right here.
Not a day goes by that I don't receive 4 or 5 emails with people sending emails to the science team saying how much they love collagen and Eternel and Purify for skin health, and showing before and after pictures and whatnot. It's just really impressive. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of them from your team as well, your organization, Holly, but it's just really gratifying to see these glowing faces coming in. It's beautiful.
And it gives people confidence.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, even, if it's teenagers, or whatever age, for people to feel better with their skin, that gives people confidence. I've had more women tell me, like, I don't wear makeup as much, like, and look at me, and they're happy with how they look. And that's really neat.
Wow, I love that. These products, I guess, can give new meaning to the phrase to be or feel comfortable in your own skin.
Very much.
Okay, mental wellness and thinking about this again on our wellness journey to support mental wellness is a really big thing. We want to make sure that the brain is healthy and strong and functioning properly to support brain health when it comes to the mental processes of the body. And when it comes to phytonutrition, Black olives are actually one of the best. It contains a molecule called homovanillic acid. Say that 5 times fast, everybody. Homovanillic acid, homovanillic acid. It's kind of a funny sounding word for a molecule, but it is a really important molecule when it comes to supporting mental health. In the scientific research, it's clear that when there are issues with mental health, levels of homovanillic acid are lower than they need to be, than they should be. And so when we take olives with homovanillic acid, we make sure that the body is maintaining healthy levels of homovanillic acid so that then all the processes in the body, including promoting mental wellness, can occur.
I wish I loved olives and I don't. So I want to ask that about olive oil. What about olive oil? Would that be the
Yeah, yeah, olive oil does contain homovanillic acid, but I'm sorry to break it to you, Holly, it doesn't contain as much homovanillic acid as black olives themselves. So green olives, Kalamata olives, they also have homovanillic acid, but it basically goes number one, black olives, number two, green, number three, Kalamata olives, and then, sorry, Holly, kind of a bit further down on the list, olive oil, but it's still good. And olive oil has a lot of other beautiful molecules that do a lot of other really amazing things.
And for those of you that love your martinis with the olives on it, now you can know the olives are the healthy part, but you would need a lot of olives, I'm guessing, Dr.
There we go. Let's just go to the jar, maybe. So when it comes to omega-3 fatty acids, really good for supporting mental wellness. And so tuna, salmon, fatty fish like that, really good at supporting mental wellness. In dark chocolate, here it comes again, 100% dark chocolate. But specifically when it comes to mental health, there's a molecule called anandamide, which is actually, when they discovered it, they called it the bliss molecule because they found that this molecule is directly associated with the feeling of happiness. So chemical psychologists, what they do is they elicit feelings in people and then they try to analyze the molecules that are being produced associated with that feeling. What they found is that anandamide is associated with the emotion of happiness. And it's actually part of the cocktail, the equation that's responsible for happiness. So when you eat 100% dark chocolate and anandamide, you've got the happy flow feeling there. And then grapes, really good when it comes to resveratrol, other polyphenols that help to support mental health.
So speaking of polyphenols, I'm guessing our Eternel is on here, and there it is.
You've got it. There it is. Eternel with the polyphenols and the resveratrol, very good for supporting health. Vitalite. So Vitalite also has a lot of different polyphenols in our superfood blend, our berry blend, those whole food, fruit and veggie sources that we have in there. They're chock full of polyphenols. And so that's one of the reasons that I think is why Vitalite can help to support health in this area. And immune. Now you might ask, well, why is an immune health product, related to this wellness state that we're talking about? Well, when it comes to supporting mental wellness and when it comes to supporting cognitive function, brain health overall, the gut microbiome is a huge theme. A lot of you might have heard of the gut-brain axis. It was discovered about 15 years ago. And what they found is that good bacteria that's living in the gut, they actually make molecules that somehow travel to the brain and they communicate with each other. So when you have a happy gut, you have a happy brain, and vice versa. And immune, with its quorum sensing technology, that it inhibits the ability of bad bacteria to gossip, to talk with each other, to grow, and to overpower the immune system. When bad bacteria die, they die off, good bacteria takes its place, the gut microbiome is bolstered, and as a result, all areas of brain health, including mental wellness, can be promoted.
Really great point with the gut health related to brain health and with mental wellness. And I love the bliss with the chocolate. I love the bliss with the products. And, it's really great to see people happier. I love that. I love that when people truly are in a good space.
What a beautiful comment. Yeah, life is Life is good when we're happy. Now, related to mental health, overall cognitive health, and what we're meaning here is the ability for the brain to process information, processing time, to think through things, problem solving, those sorts of things. It's really important for us to be cognitively sharp and active. And when you read the scientific literature, one thing is clear. The things that I do today, I'm 45, the things I do today as a 45-year-old to support brain health will actually pay dividends for me when I am 65, 75, 85. I want to live to 105, Holly. So even when I'm 105, so it's really, really important that we take care of the brain and we promote health of the brain now, right? Some of us might think, well, that's kind of, I'll address that down the road. Well, no, there's no time like the present. The time is now to support cognitive health. And so when it comes to phytonutrition, walnuts, really, really good source for supporting cognitive health. There's many different clinical studies where people in elderly homes have taken walnuts, and even adolescents have taken walnuts, and they find that those adolescents do better in school. Cognitive performance is improved, memory tasks, what they call memory switching, the ability to do something and then to quickly go to something else. That's a test of brain fitness. And all these things improve and are promoted when taking walnuts. Brazil nuts, I love Brazil nuts, rich in selenium. So if you take 3 Brazil nuts a day, you get 100% of your daily value of selenium. And selenium is also found in Vitalite in large amounts, in a highly bioavailable form, really good for cognitive health. Cheese, really good for cognitive health. Cacao nibs, so the nib form, basically the cacao bean broken up into the little pieces, and then green bell pepper, really good for maintaining healthy cognitive function.
So I love seeing the cheese on there.
Yeah.
Is it all cheese or specific ones?
All cheese. Yeah, all cheese. There's blue cheese has some other special properties when it comes to supporting cellular health and stuff like that. But yeah, in the scientific literature, all cheese has been shown to be good for cognitive health. Now, why that is, we're not exactly sure. It may be the lactoferrin. We're not quite sure what molecules are doing it. And that's why science is exciting. We're still trying to figure that out. But one thing that we do know when it comes to supplementation to support cognitive health, we have Eternel, collagen, and our Vitalite product. Now, what's really interesting from our epigenetic study that we did, we studied one gene. We studied several genes, but one of the genes that we studied in the body is called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. And what we found is that collagen and Vitalite and Eternel, all 3 of those products increase amounts of BDNF in the body, especially collagen and Vitalite. Hundreds of percentage points increase in supporting health of that gene. So that was really, really interesting. So again, you might be like, well, I thought collagen was beauty from within. Well, it is, but our epigenetic data shows it can also help with cognitive health. Isn't that cool?
It's really cool. And if you have one takeaway from listening to this, the BDNF gene and how these impact it, because so many times, Dr. Dan, I feel like people think cognitive health and they don't know what to do. They're not really sure of, what they could take, if it has to be a very specific brain supplement. And these are phenomenal. And that epigenetic study, wow, showing that those results it's great. I'm so happy that we have that study.
Yeah, I was talking with our collaborators that ran that study in New Zealand today. We were just catching up and saying hi, and we were just remarking how fun it was to run that study. And they even mentioned again, they were just so surprised when they ran the experiment, how good, how powerful our products are in maintaining healthy epigenetics. They didn't think it was going to be that powerful. And so it was a lot of fun catching up on that.
With a really quick question about that study with the collagen, and because some people may run away from this thinking, oh, it's all collagen that would impact cognitive health. Is it more of the polyphenols in the collagen that what the study was about?
That's right. Yep, it's the polyphenols from pomegranate and the strawberries and the other phytonutrients that are there. So you can't just run to the big box store and grab a collagen supplement thinking it'll do the same thing. Great point. The reason why it's showing the ability to maintain healthy epigenetics is because of our curation approach that we do to formulation. And not just curation, but the specific phytonutrients that we included in there.
Very good.
Yeah, wonderful point. So we talked earlier, one of the key pillars for health is exercise. So we need to be able to exercise, doing things before we exercise, pre-workout, during workout, workout recovery. These are all really important. You know, we eat to be lean, we exercise to be healthy. We talk about epigenetics. When we exercise, it actually regulates many genes and helps to make sure that they are functioning properly. That's why a lot of times when you go work out and you come back from the gym, you feel great, you feel powerful, your brain is sharp and active. That's because there's an epigenetic mechanism in play there. But you know, when it comes to optimizing workout with phytonutrition, there's a lot of really interesting foods that we can eat. One of them is honey. Honey is nature's pre-workout. So, you know, when you go to the gym, the pre-workout things are the rage, or they have been the past several years. Better than that is to just take a tablespoon of honey, tablespoon of raw honey, and down that. You can put it in water if you want, if it's a little too intense for you, just, you know, warming it. I love honey. You know, I'll just eat a tablespoon straight. It's beautiful. Watermelon contains an amino acid called citrulline. And citrulline is known in the scientific literature to help as you work out and as the body is building up to the process, the pre-phase, the before phase of working out. Oats contain molecules called avenanthramides, which are really good for helping to support muscles during the recovery process. And apricots, really, really good for during exercise, especially endurance exercises. So when I'm out hiking, discovering plants, one of my favorite go-tos is dried apricots. No added sugar, nothing like that, but just dried apricots. Beautiful thing to help keep the endurance up when you're doing an activity.
Really, really great tips. And everything that we've talked about leading up to this really leads to wanting more, feeling better to do the physical exercise. When you think of mental health, you think of everything, and having the energy to do so, having better sleep, you know, it all
Yeah.
leads to wanting to be more physically active. And these are great tips.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And when it comes to science-based supplementation, when it comes to working out, we've got you here at 3. Revive, with its ability to support a healthy inflammatory status in the body, is crucial, because when we work out, if we're not careful, if we're not proactive about our health, the inflammatory cycle can get out of balance, and it could diminish our ability to exercise effectively, to prepare for exercise, and also when it comes to recovery afterwards. Revive is also really good when it comes to muscle soreness and stiffness. You know, you work out hard, you have those stiff, sore muscles, you take a couple of Revive, and it can really help with that.
Yes, we love the Revive for that.
Yeah, you were saying magic beans. Huh? I love that.
Magic beans.
I haven't heard that before. I love that. And then Eternel and Vitalite, both of these. Eternel with the polyphenols. Eternel and Vitalite, they actually, from our epigenetic study, they help to regulate a gene called PPAR alpha. And PPAR alpha is an important gene that is involved in the process of producing ATP, which is the energy molecule, the energy currency of the body. And so these products have an epigenetic component to them in their ability to support health and maintain health during a workout.
So the Eternal is my pre-workout, and
Yeah.
I put it to the test where I have not taken it, and then times where I have taken it. And when I take it, I have better endurance.
Yeah.
It's very noticeable. Wow, I love that about the ATP.
Yes, and that most likely is an epigenetic type mechanism of action of how Eternel is supporting and maintaining health during a workout.
This is great.
Fun stuff, isn't it great? Bone
Yeah.
health. Bone health, super important, a really, really important need state, because the older we get, the more frail our bones can become. And it's a big deal. It can compromise our health, but not just that. When bone health is not in balance, a lot of other processes in the body suffer as well. So there's studies showing that when bone health is not in balance, the cognitive health and other things can suffer, because calcium and magnesium that are vital for bone health, and vitamin K2 and vitamin D3, these are also important for other processes in the body. And so if we're deficient in those vitamins and minerals in the bone, then that's globally translated to other systems of the body. And so a lot of times, poor bone health is an indicator that, other systems in the body might not be maintained as well.
And with bone health, I know many people think with women, with aging, it's the bone health is a really big focus. But it also is for men, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Yes. A lot of the focus has been on women, and losing bone mineral density and whatnot, but it's equally for men. It's a big deal for men as well. And so when we talk about bone health, we want to maintain health across the board. And so when it comes to how do we support bone health, we're actually going to switch it up a little bit. We're starting with supplementation here, science-based supplementation. Vitalite with its magnesium, its calcium, its vitamin K2, its vitamin D3, the phytonutrients, everything the body needs to support bone health, to make sure that bone cells are growing properly, that things are clearing out when it needs to happen, that this virtuous cycle of bone health happens properly and on time. Eternal, when it comes to glutathione, some really nice, interesting, people think glutathione with antioxidant protection, but glutathione is also really important for bone health. There's some interesting brand new studies coming out. Resveratrol, the polyphenols, CoQ10 is found in Eternal, a really, really important molecule when it comes to maintaining making sure that the processes involved in bone health, they need CoQ10. It's, again, that term, it's called a cofactor. Those reactions in the bone, they need CoQ10 for a lot of them in order to function. And then collagen. Collagen, really good when it comes to bone health as well. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. And collagen, when it's broken down into its individual peptides, the little building blocks, a lot of those are beneficial for maintaining bone health as well.
I'm just, every time when I'm listening to this, I just feel grateful that I'm taking every single product.
Yeah,
and my mom is, and people, loved ones around me, that's what my mom's 79, and talking about bone health with people getting older, knowing she takes these products, it puts her daughter at ease.
Yeah.
And so, thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. Hopefully one of the key takeaways that people are taking from tonight is that our 6 products, they really are a holistic system for taking care of health. I hope that we've shown that, that a lot of some of these need states, which maybe aren't quite as obvious when with the product, hopefully it's opened our mind a little bit to help us to realize that these products really are foundational for many, many aspects of health. So when it comes to bone health, prunes, really, really good, large amounts of calcium and magnesium. Arugula, so, rocket lettuce, when you have your salad, to add a little bit of arugula in there with your lettuce, right? So when, I guess we're building like the ideal health salad here, right? When we have our lettuce and tomato that can help to support a healthy sleep, then we have our arugula that can help to support bone health. We can have some raw broccoli in there. We see broccoli with sulforaphane, good as well. Chard, Swiss chard, love some good Swiss chard, to just kind of boil it up lightly, eat it with some salt and pepper, butter. Beautiful.
Really great.
Okay, heart health. When it comes to being healthy, obviously we need to make sure that we take care of the heart. The heart is one of the most important organs, and it helps to control and maintain health of all the processes in the body, because the heart is responsible for for pumping and shuttling blood. Blood is the liquid of life for the body. And if blood isn't moving, then it's bad. And so the heart makes sure that all the systems of the body, every geographic region of the body is getting this vital, life-sustaining blood. And the heart works hard. I can't remember off the top of my head, the numbers about how many times your heart beats a day, a week, a year during your lifetime, but it's millions of times. And you think of that contraction that happens. That's a lot of mechanical force. And so as a proactive wellness company, we want to make sure that we are supporting health of the heart. And when it comes to phytonutrition, there's some really interesting foods that have been shown in the scientific literature to support health of the heart. We have pistachios, lentils, chickpeas, garbanzo beans, green beans, and dragon fruit. Man, I miss being in Asia. One of the things I miss about being in Asia is all the fresh fruit, especially the dragon fruit. Being here in snowy Utah, I can't find dragon fruit. So that's kind of a bummer.
I know. I miss that in Asia too, the best fruit. And I'm happy to see the green beans on there. I had those last night. And, heart health is a really big topic worldwide.
Yes.
We hear about heart health.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and it should be part of the conversation because maintaining health of the heart is a big deal. And so here at 3, the products that we have that can support health of the heart, Eternal, Vitalite, and Revive. These 3 products form a really nice system that can maintain heart health. And other products as well. Well, I would add Purify in there after these 3 because we want to make sure that things are clean and moving properly. But these 3 products, all of the nutrients in these products have really good data in the scientific literature to maintain and support health of the heart.
And with all 3 of those products and even adding in the Purify, it's just such a powerful combo. I mean, looking at the Vitalite, just the enzymatic reactions that start to trigger, the body is very complex. And, I do want to visit, we have 6 products and, we've talked about many different, needs tonight, and we don't have, 30 products, 60 products addressing everything individually. And I love that we have the simplicity of the 6 that are, I would say, universal.
Yeah.
Very universal with foundational health, with helping the body to function. And I know you can elaborate with that, with having the 6 products.
Yeah, no, that's right. Our 6 products, when we designed them, we made sure, we're chemical geeks, right? And we looked at all the different processes that go on in the body that lace themselves intricately throughout. And we wanted to see if we could design curated formulations with phytonutrients that help to maintain health of all these pathways, these processes in the body through an epigenetic mechanism. That was one of the things we wanted to do from the very beginning. And then we wanted to, after that, couple cellular absorption technologies to make sure that these curated phytonutrient blends are now getting into the cell. So it was a process. It was methodically thought out. And it's just so great to see people using these products, people seeing good results in the maintenance and support of health with these products. And, I hope that this has been helpful tonight. It's been fun. It's a little different flavor than we've done in the past. You and I, Holly, we did a product training a little bit ago where it was more hardcore products, but this has been fun. And I hope all of you listening tonight, this morning, wherever you are in this beautiful world, that you found this helpful, that, that as you've taken notes, like Holly encouraged you to do, that there's maybe 1 or 2 things that you can do that you could try that will help to support your health and your proactive wellness.
Exactly. And, with us even pointing out specific needs, I believe, Dr. Dan, some people out there may be like, oh, wow, these products are helping me, to support my sleep better. Like it may be that aha for some of you to realize, oh, now I can understand more of what they're doing and I feel this or that. As, some people will start the products and not notice a major shift right away. And everyone's different with that, everyone. So we definitely I know, I know. And Dr. Dan, this empowered you to really see the difference that these products are making with your everyday life.
Absolutely. Yeah. Science is cool. It's been fun to develop these products, and I'm so excited, that people are using them. And it's been fun talking with you tonight, Holly. It's been a blast.
It's been a blast. And thank you all. We're signing off. Enjoy the rest of your evening, your morning, your day, whatever it may be. And of course, we will have the recording up as soon as possible. Thank you so much, Dr. Dan, for your time. And I wish you the best and most fabulous week.
Thank you, Holly. Same to you and yours. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Bye, everyone.